You don't have to decide. I feel like sometimes you don't have to decide. There are so many people, especially in the business space or in the personal development space and the mindset space, like everything that has to do with personal development and success and like coaching and business. And I've been in that space for feels like forever. I studied international business and then later on I was in finance and then after that and that has been now 10 years. It has been about business, personal development, business and all of that. And yeah, it is important to make a decision, but I think I want to talk a little bit about the nuances here because everything is about nuance. And one thing that is very present for me at this time is that I feel that many people want to create. I'm going to use that word. They want to create, whether it be a YouTube channel, whether it be a personal brand, whether it be a business, whether it be art, everything is creation. And creation is always a mix of many things. And most of the time, that's what I have found. Most of the time, many times, I don't want to put like it's not a statistic. That's my personal experience, and I think it's true. It can be generalized. Most people create from friction. Friction, right? Like if we think about that, that's friction. That is also the engagement with life. And it is also what creates fire, right? If we talk about passion, if we talk about motivation to create something, it comes out of this motion. It comes out of this movement of friction. And friction is when like opposites come together, and this is what I feel that my whole life is a representation of. My mom is German, my dad is Ghanaian. I had to like navigate my whole life through two completely different approaches of life, cultures, mentalities, personalities, values, even. And I feel like this friction has wanted me to create always, like whatever it was, wanted to create school grades, wanted to create my dancing and my theater and my love for creative expression. And this is where the video is going. I want you to know that you can do both. You can be both. You can be all. You can be the paradox in one person. You can be opposites united. You can be, yeah, just really two conflicting things in one person and harmonizing those things. For me, that is quintessential to art. And it is also quintessential to business, right? Because friction can also mean there's a problem here, right? There is a war, there's a pain, and finding solution to a problem, finding the root, finding the cause of the friction is a solution to a problem, and business is the solution to a problem that you sell for profit. So coming back to my story is I know that my life has been a a life of friction, like from identity to like culture to values. And I have like inherited, and this is when I want to speak a little bit about purpose here, right? So when you speak about purpose, I think one thing that I want to add to the conversation more is Purpose is definitely not only your zone of genius, but purpose comes from somewhere. Purpose many times is the intention of your creation, right? Your dad had an intention for you, your mom had an intention for you, whether it be subconscious or conscious. So both manifestations, both people, both individuals had an intention, like a mentality that flew, like that was connected through your becoming, right? So you are also like an ongoing flow of energy and mentality, and sometimes opposing, and many times opposing forces within you. It's good to, I think it's a very good way to look at your parents. What were their ideologies, like your mom's ideology, the content of her life, the content of her life, and the same thing here with with your dad. What was the content of his life? What was the main focus, the main intention? Right? And most probably you are both of them united, and your purpose is to literally unite those two opposing things within yourself, which is the cause for the friction, but also the cause for creating solution and for your passion, your interest, your curiosity for certain topics. To take it like now from a more metaphorical level to a very practical level. So one of the opposites that I am trying to unite since I can remember, or yeah, probably since I can remember, is the connection between like deep purpose, like really like a fiery spirit, curiosity for learning, also formal learning, education, for culture, for involvement, for public speaking, for speaking up for people who didn't dare to speak, even in school. As I said, education. Then on the other side, it was always about kind of helping people and knowing that money helps. That money helps. To be very clear, to be very direct, it is both, right? Like this cultural sociology, theology, like it has always been of interest for me to know about God and this concept of God since I can remember. Like I've always been in the stars, like wanting to know about God, wanting to know what that is, like really deep down, like not only taking the indoctrination of religion and being like, yeah, okay, that sounds good, I'm gonna follow it. No, I studied it. I studied it like since a very young age. And then I studied it in school. And then later on, I studied it in my higher education. And also, yeah, knowing like psychology, early childhood psychology, biology, right? These are things that I'm highly interested in, like all of this, like really more of the like the social sciences, right? The social sciences in understanding human behavior, understanding culture, understanding emotions, and understanding the spirit and the subconscious, like the belief system, literally. Like that has been my thing since I can remember. And at the same time, what I always wanted was to help people financially. That's what I can say, right? Help people also financially, of course, with that all of that knowledge, but also helping because of all of that. I understand that most people, first and foremost, want and need financial support because of like my African heritage and knowing I am the child of a migrant who left his continent, his whole continent, to come to the quote unquote promised land of Europe to find a better life in a better financial situation, right? So those things, those forces, those powers came together to create me. My mom was more the like the curious one, the well-read, curious woman learning about also culture, religion, mythology, also like aliens and the stars, and she's a gardener. Like my mom, for me, she's a goddess. Like she really represents like, yeah, the feminine principle. Like most of my brand name and a little bit of the message, definitely her. Like especially like this principle of nourishing something into life, being a gardener, being very good with plants, but also like all of those, this universal wisdom that she carries. She's also very fiery, a woman that actually went for what she deserved, like in her career, being a leader. And then later on, I had the privilege of helping her ignite the fire of her own first business, like really using her talents to make money. Like I've helped my mom to do that. And yeah, on the other side again, like this upliftment of the migrant story with gaining financial success. And I'm saying all of that to also connect with you and to make you think about the story of your parents, right? We speak about legacy, we speak about generational wealth, right? But we also want to go a step back and really analyze where do we come from, not only in a collective sense, but really from the individuals, like who were our parents, what was their belief system, and then what made that, like how did you become you through that? And what are the many times for most people the subconscious underlying um motivations of your drive, motivations of the life you choose, and then also to make it conscious so you can transcend it. Because many people, they just live out the dream their parents had, right? But that might not be your dream because your dream is most likely to transcend that, to make even something bigger out of it, right? It is not necessarily only this one part, it is both. It is both. So I'm saying all of that to come to say that I believe we live in an era where most people want, like they feel this desire to self-actualize, because that's what it is, to self-actualize and to create a business and make money out of it, to create something from your personal experience, from your skill set, from your knowledge, from your passion, from your education, from solving your own problems and then selling it to someone else, the solution for profit. And I believe like that is self-actualization, to create a business based on your personal story, based on your personal experiences and talents and gifts and knowledge, to create a business out of that and sell it to other people for profit. Like what have you learned along your journey? Like not only the formal things, but really like the wisdom you've gained that has helped you to unlock certain things within yourself. And today I just had a wonderful interview. It's going to be on YouTube as well, so stay tuned. Write down, what word can I say? Write down, stay tuned. I'm staying tuned. Okay? Write down, I'm staying tuned, because this is not a monologue. Like I'm really here to connect with you. So let me know if you're here, if you're in the building. So I recorded this interview with one of my partners inside my membership. He's like a, yeah, let's call it a team member. He's part of the ecosystem that I'm building inside the membership, the high-end Empress membership. I am offering workshops and knowledge and challenges and exchange with like-minded individuals over there. So you can do exactly that. Create a business from your story. And like my personal part and my expertise is really deeply in digging and helping you to unlock your story, to help you find your essence, right? And get rid of all the things that are that are cluttering up your essence, right? Many times it's the stories that we tell ourselves, it's the habits that we have, it's emotions, it's trauma. It's self-protection, most of those things. Like this is what I help you with. Like I would say at this point, I'm very privileged to have learned from amazing people, amazing people. Like I've dedicated my life to do that, to help you unlock your genius, your power, your creative potential, your fire, right? That is also what my little brooch here says, is ignite the fire of the dream. Like that's my mission as a transformational life coach. So that's what I do. But or plus, and I also help you build a business, right? To create a structure around your business, to for you to systematize your knowledge so you can actually take people through a process that will create results, right? Because people don't want the process most of the time. They want the results. I know that too. So if you work with me, you will definitely get a result, right? So over here, it is about building business and also business literacy because it's not only the business structure, but it's also the financial management. It is also the legal, like a little bit of the legal part, right? It is also about the marketing and the messaging, right? It is also about the storytelling and the sales, right? The conversations that you are able to have with people, intimate conversations about what they deeply desire. So like both, I'm doing both. And that's what I want to say. If you are somewhere here and you think you're not able to make money out of your story, out of your art, like real big money, you're probably lacking some of those things, or maybe also not lacking, but you might not be seeing those things because you so much identify with being an artist that you don't see the necessity to kind of, how do I say best, to sophisticate your art or even to protect your art, because your art is your not only intellectual property, it is your soul and your emotional and your intellectual property. And that's what it says, right? Intellectual property. That means there is a value for it. It's property. It is yours. Own it. And the way you own it is by putting some worldly structures around it, like business structure or legal structure or a sales structure, right? Things like that will help you to actually get the most valuable part of yourself transferred to someone else. And I want you to open yourself up that you are both, right? In the time that I had the privilege of working with hundreds of people all over Europe, many times they were creative entrepreneurs. That's it. Like you are a creative entrepreneur. For me, actually, there's nothing else really in this life. You're either a creative or you're an entrepreneur. No, no, of course, you can also be something else, but you're a creator and you want to make money out of it. That's a creative entrepreneur, right? And a creative entrepreneur can also be somebody who studied accounting. Now you're using all that intellectual property, which is kind of your art, your skill set, and you sell it in a course. Like I can help you with that. Like that's what I do. So I want you to see yourself as both, right? I want you to see yourself as both. You are not only an artist, but you can also be a business person. You are not only like a whatever you want to call yourself, right? You are not only a social scientist, but you can't like me, it's still called I'm a life coach. And I actually identify with that because like I have gained like amazing tools where I see myself as a scientist, right? Like I have the art and the science of transformation locked in, right? So, but I'm so many things more. So I see myself as an artist as well. I see myself as a um maybe like I see myself as a teacher, something like a director. I see myself as a talent developer. It's not about me. I just want to give you range of what you can identify with. And at the same time, I've also studied, like I studied international business, but I also studied like accounting and like, yeah, real estate and things like that, financial management. because both of these things have always been of utmost interest to me. Both things more or less equally. So what I want to share with this topic today is that you do not have to decide. You do not have to decide if you're either or. You're both. And it's good to be both, right? As I said, it's about the art and the science. It's about the creativity and the logic. It's about becoming whole. It's about activating all of your potential and faculties. It's about the feminine and the masculine, right? It's about the unconscious making itself conscious through the art of transformation and the processing and the creation of change, right? And it's also about solidifying structures, being stable, being unmovable a little, right? Unmovable, solid. Like both is important. Being rigid, even, right? Right. That's flexible, that's rigid. Both is important. And I would say, like this, if you have this, it will make that more strong. If you have this, it will make this more strong. So it is so, so important. If you see yourself as someone who wants to create your own products from your personal storytelling skills, come over into the community. Let's talk. But also know that you will want to look into those things. That is being a full-on independent artist. Actually, that's what I want to transmit here. You are an independent artist. You like that's what you would want to be, right? That's what I'm suggesting, right? Like these are my thoughts, right? So I'm sharing them with you. But that's what I think. Like I think we want to be sovereign individuals using our talent to make profit in the world in a very sophisticated, professional way. And yeah, therefore you have to like break. Like this was one of the most important limitations for me to break out of. To it's not either or. My nose is itching a little. It's not either or, it's both and. You are this and that, right? And many times you might have judged, as I said before, this side judges this side judges this side, or even like pushes it away. Like, I'm not that, but you're that too. You're that too. And I want you to like it, to be proud of yourself, how resourceful you are, how many how many tools you have in order to create the life of your dream. And I'm here to give you those tools. So if you want to learn more about how you can become the best version of yourself, transform your life experience from maybe pain and confusion and doubt and worry, and uncertainty into something beautiful, into art, into certainty, into beauty, into clarity. If you want to transform that, I'm here for it. Like that's exactly what I teach in my programs. And if you want to create structures and plans and solid discipline routines to keep it up, to create a sense of stability, I'm your girl too, right? Like, and I am building a team of people that will help me and you to create those dreams. Okay, that's what I'm all about. So today the message really was you don't have to be either or. You can be both. And this is actually becoming whole, becoming authentic, becoming all of you. And that is ultimate self-love, is to accept, radically accept all parts of yourself and integrate all the parts of yourself that you thought maybe you couldn't do it because some person in the history of your life has told you that you're not good at that. That's not your cup of tea. No, we're gonna rewrite the story. You can be all of it. And actually, I believe that we want to be all of it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for today. And I would love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know like what you're taking away from this. Like, do you find yourself more on the autistic side and you up until now have rejected like the more structured money accounting side? Or are you more here on the legal side and have maybe pushed away like the creative and the emotional part of yourself where you're like, oh no, that's not me. So I want you to allow yourself to integrate and be more of both because I believe that this is ultimately our true nature. So, want to hear from you. Until then, stay dangerous. Bye bye.